My county just put on a Go Electric event, which had a whole bunch of different stuff. Here you can see a Bolt that's owned by the county, along with what's going to be a EV police car that's coming up. They've chosen to go with the Mach-E as their base model for this. But there are lots of cars and vehicles that are electric, so let's check it out. First thing we have here is a fully electric bus. This thing looks like a typical bus, but it's full electric. The big star of the show for me is the Rivian. I have not seen one of these in real life yet, and it is gorgeous. It weighs like 7,000 pounds. It has almost 800 or a little over 800 horsepower. It can go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, and it's just gorgeous. It looks like a traditional pickup truck, but it is anything but. You can see it has a frunk, so fitting the EV thing here, and has a grille that's very kind of EV-esque. It also has a lot of little safety things and other pieces that kind of help with the outdoor vibe of this thing, because that's what it's really designed for, is outdoor living, outdoor kind of going where you can't go in normal vehicles. Taking a look at the back, there's a nice bed that extends out and then a place for the wheel as well. And then when we go through here, you can see there's some areas on the sides that have a pass-through. So you have an extra storage area behind your back seats and not counting where the bed is at. So there's a lot of space there for a bunch of different things. Speaking of back seats, these things are super comfortable. They're large, they're well ventilated, there's a screen, and you can see looking through here, it looks great all the way around. There's a lot going on in this car. Jumping back here in the back, there's speakers on the back. If we go in and look at the headrest, there's a place to hang stuff. And there's even a USB-C charger right there, which is incredible. Also on that back screen, you have 2 more USB chargers, and again, one on the other side with the hook. In the fold down area, this thing is just really well thought out. I really dig all of the design decisions they've made here. Every little detail is well thought out. It looks nice. It is cohesive design. The screens here really give a lot of information. Their wheels well thought out. Again, I really dig this design and this truck overall. I want one. We are going to totally switch gears and go over to another electric truck. This is the Pikmin. This thing is super weird, super tiny. It starts around $17,000, and you can go through and change and do different things with it. It has options for 2 seats, 4 seats. It has a back. It has a lot of different things. It does use lead acid batteries. You have to upgrade to lithium ion, but it's a cool little work truck. There are also a bunch of electric bicycles, and more importantly, this thing. This is the Zero. This is an electric street bike, and it looks fast. It looks like a normal bike, but man, this thing flies. I've seen these in other places, and they're completely silent and just go. If I rode a motorcycle, this would be it. We're going to jump back over to your more typical EVs. This is a Model 3 that obviously is painted. This is actually done by a Ukrainian artist, so it looks nice. We have a Model Y here, which is nothing special, but kind of cool. And here's a slightly older Model S, but what makes this Model S cool is its hood. If we take a look here, it has a painting of Nikola Tesla, and it has just a great license plate for an electric car. Then we have the OG Tesla Roadster. This thing is so tiny, built on a Lotus frame, and it's just a cool looking car. It still turns heads, even though it's super tiny and outdated these days. It's a really nice little car. I've never been in one, but I've seen them a lot of times, and they're just fun to look at. Jumping back over into the Bolt, this is actually a really nice looking car in my opinion. It's a pretty typical EV, but it doesn't look like a nerd machine as much as some other ones do. I dig the two-tone kind of interior here with the white and the black seats, but it's again nice to see other EVs coming out. Next up is the Kia EV6. Now this is a nice looking car again, has this giant wraparound screen for the driver. It's very comfortable to sit in. The controls are generally well thought out, and I think it's a really nice looking EV. The only thing that gives this thing away as an EV is the front. Even though it does have this kind of grille looking thing, it's not really a true grille, as obviously you figured out for most electric cars. But the EV6 is, again, a nice size SUV. It works well and has a lot of technology inside of it, like this little camera that's sitting right there in the front of the car. Then we have the Volkswagen ID4. I haven't seen a lot of these on the road, but they're not bad looking cars. I don't know the stats behind them really all that much, but the inside, again with the two-tone or two-panel display, one behind the wheel, one up front, and then you roll around to the front where you discover that it is in fact an electric car. Then we have a privately owned Mach-E, not one by the county to show off, but this is just a person who's showing off their car itself. The design, still a little polarizing in my opinion, mainly just that they call it a Mustang. If they just went Mach-E, it would have been better. And I think the hardest design choice on this whole thing is the screen with the wheel in the middle. I'm not a big fan of that, but I do dig the overall aesthetics of the car. Then we have a Jaguar I-Pace. The owner of this car was really nice. He's a cool guy to talk to, and he really talked about more that a lot of people don't know that Jaguar go through and make EVs. which they do. One of my neighbors down the street has one, and this one is one I haven't actually seen on the road before. The interior of this car is gorgeous. The lines are really nice. The door handles, everything just is high-end, really well thought out, and I would like to take this for a little spin at some point. And we're going to go over here to Tesla Row. These are Teslas for the Tesla Owners of Maryland Club. This one just has a really cool wrap on it. We have our really typical kind of Model Y here. And then this Model X over here to the right. This one's cool. This is really early on. It actually is signed by Elon Musk, and the owner of this car always puts a little Stormtrooper helmet on the rest, and it just kind of works with the car. Now, this car is not part of the electric event at all. It's just somebody who owned it who came to see the event, but you have to see a Taycan when it's available, so you got to go take a look at this thing. But it's quick, it looks comfortable, it looks like just a wonderful electric car that I wouldn't mind taking for a spin. So this show had a little bit of everything for everybody. You can see in the background there's some electric lawn equipment and all of that, which the county was really promoting. I didn't take a look at that stuff because it's not that much fun to look at an electric leaf blower, but it was really cool to see the interest and hear the questions of people who don't drive EVs coming out into the real world and seeing them in real life.